Fox, right? Because we source our information not just locally, not just from the people on the ground, not just from other vloggers, not just ourselves, but we want to have a whole conversation about the situation. And what is happening is that not only is Trump becoming more and more and more successful by delivering on the promises made, and in addition to that, making sure that he helps people and is a pillar of success for the black community. Pam Bondi has been warning these blue cities, these sanctuary cities, either y'all get in line, either y'all comply, or we are going to start dealing with y'all more aggressively and making sure that we also remove federal funding from the cities. So I suggest that y'all get more involved, because if you don't want your city to start losing federal funding, which a lot of these states and these cities, they receive the majority of their income directly from the feds, then y'all need to really start paying attention.
You. All right, CB Cotton in New York for us this morning. Thank you.
All right, let's dig a little deeper on this by bringing in the Department of Homeland Security Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, Tricia McLaughlin. So here's what the Boston Mayor Michelle Wu said in response to today's deadline. Listen here.
Here is our response. Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures. Unlike the Trump administration, Boston follows the law. And Boston will not back down from who we are and what we stand for. We will not back away from our community that has made us the safest major city in the country.
Sounds like a long way of saying pound sand.
It sounds like it. What a bizarre press conference. But the lives of Americans is no joking matter. And these sanctuary city politicians, like Mayor Wu out of Boston, are playing Russian roulette with the American public's lives. I mean, look, in the last 2 weeks, we've arrested out of Boston child rapists, aggravated assaulters, really the worst criminals. And we're going to continue to do so. And if these sanctuary politicians won't follow the law, then we will be forced to flood the zone. We're hiring more than 10,000 new ICE enforcement officers. We have about 110,000 applications. So we're going to have the workforce to do that.
Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that they have over 110,000 new applications for people that actually want to become ICE and Homeland Security officers? Wow, I didn't know that.
DOJ, Tricia, has been threatening to withhold federal funds from cities and states that are non-compliant with this new order. It sounds like going a step further now and actually threatening to file suits against some of these jurisdictions that are non-compliant with this. Are those suits going to get filed today in response to cities like Boston?
Well, I won't speak for the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, but I will say I believe everything is on the table, including those lawsuits and including withholding federal funding. These politicians have to take action and stop playing these political games. 70% of the arrests that are made under this administration have been of illegal immigrants with prior criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. So these are criminals that we are going after.
I wanted to talk to you about...
Wait. Y'all said that they're offering $50,000 bonuses? They giving $50,000 bonuses for you to become an ICE agent? What's going on here? See, this is why you got to interact with the chat, because the chat going to keep you up to date out here in these streets. Let's see. 50K bonus ICE agent. Wow, y'all was absolutely correct in this. U.S. immigrations, and this is current. This is April 1st, so this was only 19 days ago that this article came out. It says U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is offering recruitment bonuses of up to $50,000 and student loan help to brave and heroic Americans interested in helping the Trump administration's deportation drive. The agency specifically is hoping to recruit deportation officers, along with attorneys, criminal investigators, and student visa educators, and other roles. In total, ICE hopes to add 10,000 new personnel doubling the agency's headcount as it ramps up deportation. The funding for recruitment drive comes from approximately $165 billion allocated for the Department of Homeland Security and Donald Trump's sweeping new tax bill. Wow. In addition to the signing bonus and student loan repayment forgiveness of up to $60,000, ICE is promising potentially hefty overtime pay for deportation officers and enhanced retirement benefits. So wait a minute. Y'all ain't contacted y'all boyfriend or your father or your uncle and said, hey, listen, you ain't got no felonies, do you? No. Okay, well then maybe you need to apply because I can get that $50K bonus and I can get you $60,000 forgiven off your student loans and you can get unlimited overtime in order to go and do some good for your country. Really? I'm just saying, this don't sound like I mean, they not just hiring ICE officers. If you're an attorney, if you are a person, let me see what it says. Let me go back up. Criminal investigator. If you got a criminal justice degree, this might be your time to shine. Man, go get that money, bro. Go get that money. Go. This don't sound bad. How many jobs that y'all see out there that just giving y'all $110,000 right off the bat, and you get good retirement benefits? You know you don't like to go into the retirement benefits thing, bro. This don't sound bad. No wonder they out here. Okay, that's how you recruit people. This
person, Harjinder Singh, who was allegedly driving a big rig in the state of Florida, made an illegal U-turn across one of those official use only,
I don't know, Erica.
Connections between the roadway.
I have no idea.
We went from the most undemocratic Washington days.
U.S. Since you federalized this Washington, D.C. story, even people are going out to dinner. Even President Trump, no, maybe he went out to dinner. I don't know. But I'm told, wait, did I say over 400 arrests? Total now, 137 over the weekend. And you're cleaning the homeless. Tell us about it, because this is like a miracle story.
Yeah, and Larry, this is all done, of course, at the directive of Donald Trump. He's making our world safe, and he's certainly going to make our capital the safest place in the country. Larry, to put it in perspective, Washington, D.C. had the 4th highest homicide rate in the country, right here in the capital.
I didn't know that. Is that true? I guess it is true. It's coming straight from Pam Bondi. Did y'all know that Washington, D.C. had the 4th highest murder capital rate in America? Yeah, that's not good. We got to clean that up. Are they going to Baltimore next? They're going to go to Baltimore next?
Capital, 6 times higher than where you are right now in New York City. Higher than Chicago, higher than other major cities, and it had to stop. So President Trump knew this, and he said, we're going to federalize it. We have been working hand in hand with our
great
DC men and women in the Metro Police Department, the Transit Authority. We've brought in the Park Police, the National Guard, all of the agencies that fall under me, the FBI, Kash Patel's doing a great job, DEA, Terry Cole, ATF, U.S. Marshals, Gowdy Serralta's managing the whole thing. Terry's also managing it. I was out there every single night this weekend at the command center with all of our law enforcement, and but for the T-shirts they were wearing, you could not tell who was with what agency. It was such camaraderie, such cooperation. The stories they tell every night about keeping D.C. safe. They've taken 59 guns off the streets right here. Just this weekend, they got 21 guns, Larry. To hear, it was amazing, the stories they were telling me. Saturday night, before they went out, before it was even dark, they performed a traffic stop. All these guys got out, bailed out of the car, took off, caught the majority of them. 3 guns under the seats in the car. 1 was an assault rifle. That's the kind of crime that was happening right around the corner from us in our nation's capital. Larry, not only that, Donald Trump's going to make it beautiful again. He's been out taking the graffiti off of our beautiful monuments, off of the streets, off of the businesses. We're going to clean up this city at his directive, and the people are loving it, and the law enforcement officers are loving it.
AG Bondi, I'm told by friends that Union Station has been cleaned up and the homeless have been moved to other places, you know, to get help, whatever they need help. But if you can clean the homeless up, that would be remarkable. And maybe some other cities, you know, there's a story in the, I think it's front page of the Journal today, or anyway, a story in the Wall Street Journal. Downtown Los Angeles is gone. It's absolutely gone. The stores, everyone's left. It's practically a deserted city because of the homeless problem, which is so gigantic. You're maybe giving us an example of how to handle it in Washington, D.C.
That's exactly right. And I was out in L.A. for work a couple of weeks ago. I was with Bill Asaley, our U.S. attorney. They had to stop the cars to pick up a homeless man who was just sitting in the middle of the road. No one was doing anything. The beautiful businesses had spray paint on them. Places were boarded up. I had never seen L.A. like that in my life. And President Trump is not going to let that happen anywhere around our country. If the governors are going to disregard it, the president certainly is not.
Part of this story in Washington, D.C. is also a sanctuary city problem. It is no longer a sanctuary city. And you've said sanctuary jurisdictions should not receive federal funds if they do not cooperate with ICE. And you are not reluctant to enforce that. Tell us more about that, because that, in some sense, is a big part of the criminal problem.
It sure is. And they had sanctuary policies here in D.C. No longer. They've been working with us. You know, you have to tell us if there are illegal aliens in your database. If we're arresting someone, we are going to know if they're an illegal alien. So last week, I sent out 32 letters to mayors around the country, and I believe to 7 governors, telling them, you better comply or you're next. If they don't comply with this, Larry, we're going to work with our other agencies to cut off their federal funding. We are going to send in law enforcement, just like we did during the LA riots, just like we're doing here in Washington, D.C. And if they're not going to keep their citizens safe, Donald Trump will keep them safe. That's what this is all about, making America safe again. That was his only directive, and that's what we're doing.
So the sanctuary city mayors are actually fighting back. You do know that this was an alternative, or this was an option for them before Trump ever decided to descend upon these cities in the first place. Like, y'all could have truly deployed the police. Y'all could have worked with federal agencies in order to make sure that sanctuary cities were no longer sanctuary cities. And if you arrested an illegal migrant that had committed a crime, then you call them so that ICE can actually detain them and deport them back to the country that they came from. This was a very simple ask. This was a very simple situation, and they just continue to fight it. And the question that I just have to ask y'all in the chat right now is why? Why do you guys think that these sanctuary city mayors and these governors are actually fighting? All right, let me give you a better scenario. When y'all see them fighting this, do you think it's just because they don't like Donald Trump, A, or B, they actually want to maintain power and they don't want to act like they working with Donald Trump, or C, they actually believe that they're doing a decent job? When you see sanctuary city mayors fight a very simple directive of, if somebody gets arrested illegally, because you got to remember, if they don't call, then that means that that's more of a burden on their finances, on their tax rolls. And I ain't even talking about removing federal funding. I'm speaking about you having to house these people, police these people, lock them up, feed them. You're losing tourism, investment dollars. It's a drain on everybody when you have degenerates inside of your community. Everybody pays for the degenerates. When you protect people that should not be doing the things that they're supposed to be doing, you basically create a new tax on your own citizens. So why do you think that these mayors are willing to fight against the administration if they call themselves public servants. All of the above, A and B, so they don't like Trump and they want to maintain power. Holla at Dre, that's the thing. These places can be deceptive. Sometimes it can seem like it's a place that you want to visit until you get carjacked. Not going to do a poll. We just going to do a formal conversation like this. If you love me, protect me. If you love me, protect me. It's messed up, bro. It's so messed up, bro. And I want better for the people. And it's unfortunate, the same way that we did in the election, that we got to drag people to the finish line. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.